Hello and welcome to our lockdown orienteering team events competition. First of all, roundup from day 2 from the Sunday, and also our special catching features relay final, where we're going to see the top 3 teams from the qualifier do the relay to try and win our team's competition on catching features. So that's going to come up hopefully in the next 15 minutes. We'll be able to start that one and get that whole competition underway. So as usual, we have in a relay the 3 runners running consecutively, and they've qualified based on their times from this last weekend. This weekend, where it was the top 3 per team to kind of count, and then they will be the runners in the team of 7 who will make it through to the catching features final, and they will be racing here in 15 minutes time. But first of all, let's go through some of the results, some of the solutions from today's competitions. So of course we've had 7 stages overall, but today we're going to focus on stages 5 and 6. So we'll start with the up and down section stage. Of course, you want to see whether it's up, down, or up and down, or down and up. Another pretty tricky this one. And let's have a look at. We're gonna have a look at the results first. Yeah. So, or we're going to have a look at the solutions. I was going to go for solutions first, but we might be going for results first. But here you can see on the screen the overall results, I do believe, and that's the individual results.
Sorry.
So Joe Sunley at the top, Theo Florent second, Marion Bassett in third, Paul Todd, I think they're in 4th place, Sasha Chaplin in 5th. Let's bring in Chris, and or we're going to try and scroll down and see some of the different classes as we go down. And let's have a look at then at the team results. And this is overall, I think. So we've got KLS, the French team, who you're going to see in action on catching features as well. They took the win. Austrian team, 2nd place. And then it's the Japanese team, them and the Merry Friends, who have come 3rd. The top British team, as most of our entries are British, or a big proportion anyway. The top team there was Edinburgh University, with South Yorkshire Bees Knees, the 2nd fastest British team. So yeah, impressive stuff. But like, we've got, just looking at the number of different nations, we've got different nations represented in just the top 20, is really very exciting to see. So congrats everyone who pulled together a team, and especially if you've managed to make it into the top 20 as well. Let's see if we can have a look at the results for up and down, if we can do that, or we can see some of the solutions for up and down.
I'll just get there in just a second, sorry.
That's all right.
It's a Sunday.
Technology doesn't always work for us here on the stream. If you're a regular, you will know that. Let's have a look though. Here's the results for the up and down. Chris Smithard, do you want to kind of talk through these with me?
Yes, first thing to say is the map is from North Macedonia, from a club that we're supporting and giving some money to from this weekend. So it's it was kind of quite a rocky area, but yeah, basically the aim of the game is to decide as quickly as possible if it's up then down, or down then up, just by using whatever features you can see in the picture.
So the first one, the one on the left there, and I guess you're looking at kind of the crags mostly to tell you, and some of the earth banks to tell you which way is up.
Yeah, I think with the crags with that one, obviously you've got to double check if there's not like a down to start with. So maybe it's a little bit tricky, that one, for the first one, because there are quite a lot of, the lines are wiggling over everywhere a little bit, but yeah. The
second one may be a bit easier. Again, so you're looking here at the earth banks, all the tags pointing down the hill.
Yeah, I think that kind of gives that one away, because there's so many of them. Hopefully people didn't find that one too hard.
The third one, again, we've got, you can nicely see all those contours flowing around. So you can see from the earth banks by the finish circle that we're sloping down. So therefore, if you're following the red line, you need to go up and down to get into that finish.
Yep, going over the spurt. Yep.
The fourth one is again a lot of earth banks, but you do have to be quite careful from the start that you're again, like you're not going down the hill and then back up the other side, I guess.
Yeah, just have to double check that one. I think this one is also, you can see, it's quite unusual. The vegetation boundaries are shown here with a green dash line, which is a new symbol in the new specification. And you only use that in really rocky areas, so it's a bit clearer. But it's not one I've come across actually before, so that was interesting.
One for all the map geeks out there.
Yeah.
Then the fifth one, the one on the right, that one looks a bit trickier to me.
Yeah, I think it was the gullies, the erosion gullies you had to see, which just kind of give away where the small re-entrants are.
Okay, let's go further down and see what's the sixth one was. So it all starting to get a little bit trickier here. This one too is up. Again, I guess it's
more earth walls.
Looking at the earth walls.
Yeah. Well, earth banks, sorry. Yeah. And then 7, it's down and then up, so you're going through a slight re-entrant. And you've got it's the earth walls again that are giving that away. Earth banks. I keep getting it mixed up there.
And then the next one, the one in the middle, the small one.
Yeah, up. It's an up. We got the gullies there, which give that one away.
Yep, and the next one down and up.
Yeah, so that's quite a subtle one. It's got the you could if you're going round, you'd contour to it, but this is on the direct line, so you've got to go down and then up.
Yeah, I think that one threw me a little bit, because it's just saying that you've got to go down first rather than contouring over. You are crossing with the contour. And then the one on the right,
that's up.
That one's up as well.
Hopefully the water gave that one, made it a bit easier.
Yeah, but it's hard to go down when you've got a lake already. I've got some more results.
Yeah, we got another 5.
Another 5, that's 5. Then this one, the first one, up then down.
Yeah, so you're going over a spur there, but you've got a couple of small gullies near the start on the right hand side, and then you've got the earth banks at the end as well. So
that one's very hard because you could very easily, I think, see it as down all the way. So you've really got to be kind of careful on the whole leg that you're going the right way. The next one down then up. This one is, I think, maybe a bit more obvious with the earth banks facing different directions.
Yeah, and you can see the contour shape. You can definitely see it's going to be an up and down or down and up, and hopefully you worked out quite quickly.
Yep, the next one.
That's just an up. That's the small erosion gullies by the start. Hopefully.
Now, I had a bit of a problem with that one, because could you, in theory, have those erosion gullies on the spur?
Yes, you could in theory. You just have to make the best guess you can with the information there. So it's more likely they'll be in the re-entrant. So, but yeah, that one you'd have to double check. But I mean, this happens in orienteering. Like it's not always that obvious. Maybe the maps could be clearer. I don't know, because we don't often use that many tags, I don't think, in orienteering maps. But you just got to make the best of what you can see.
And the next one, this one's a bit of a sneaky one, I think.
Yeah, it's quite subtle. Maybe I should have broken the line a bit there, but you do have to go down a little bit and then up.
Yeah, just when you're crossing the path, you go down, you cross a line and cross the contour line and go back up it again.
Yeah, I wanted to put a few harder ones in at the end, so yeah.
I think fair enough. Yeah, so if we zoom in, you can see just where the red line crosses the path, and that is where you have to go back down and back up again. Yeah, there we go. You can see it just there, just that little contour line you have to cross. I think that one threw me, to be honest. So fair play if you managed to get that one correct. That was very difficult. Can we have a look at the last one then? And the last one, this one was down. Why was this one down?
Yeah, I mean, that one's a bit trickier. So you've got you got some small hills and how the crags are arranged. then normally the cracks would be round small hills. If it's the opposite way round, you've basically got a lot of kind of like coves, like little quarries, which is quite a lot more unusual. So hopefully people manage to get that one. Or you've got the little hills kind of stepping out of the hillside, which I think is a little like in the re-entrance, which is quite unusual. You wouldn't normally get little hills in re-entrance. So that one was quite tricky as well.
Yeah, very difficult. We can see some of them highlighted there, those exactly what you're mentioning, Chris. Yeah, very, very tricky. So congratulations to those who were able to get everything right on there. But shall we move on to the short gaffle before we go back and look at the results?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's see if we can get that sorted, and then we will have a little look at the results for today. Just a reminder, we've still got the catching features coming up. As soon as we've done this, we will move on to the next one. So this is the shortest gaffle, which in my opinion could have been called knockout sprint almost gaffle. This is what the athletes have to do, but they have to choose which one they do in 20 seconds. So if you were going over 20 seconds, you start to feel the pressure of exactly what this is like. So this I found very difficult. So Chris, why don't you talk us through?
Yeah, so originally I wanted to include something that was a bit more relay team focused as one of the challenges. And it was difficult to do something which you would work together with your teammates, but this kind of seemed relevant. And originally the idea was to use real relays and to cut legs out and use the times from that, but that ended up being quite difficult. So actually it ended up being easier for me to plan everything and then to run it myself. And then at least then I can say that it was equally run as well. Equal amount.
So you physically went out and you ran all these legs?
Yeah. It didn't take that long actually because it was quite short. But it's a good training session. Yeah.
So where is this area then, Chris?
Just around where I live. Yeah, just around where I live, so I won't give too much away.
Okay, so the number 2 was the best here. So these are all the times on the bottom, the times that it took you to run.
Yeah, maybe in hindsight I should have done some easier ones to start with, but hopefully people enjoyed the challenge because obviously everybody wants to run the short gaffle. Quicker times might win your leg.
Yeah.
Better win your leg. Yeah. Okay, so that was the middle one on that one. So hopefully people got that.
Number 2. Oh, this one. This is close.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't really matter which one you take in some ways here.
Yeah. So number 3 was the correct answer though.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, because basically we added the times up, the time that you took to choose, and then added that on to the actual time that I took to run your leg. So you didn't want to spend too long deciding, basically. Generally, I mean, some of them are quite big differences. But yeah, we'll go down to the number 3. Third choice.
Here we go, number 3, and this was very decisive. This one.
Yeah, this was quite a big. I think it's just it's obviously the second control in the first and the second little courses. You're just having to run quite a bit further for that, so that was quite a big difference.
Okay, that's number 3. Let's move on to number 4.
Yeah, so it's just this is just getting one of the first 2. I was actually a bit surprised. I thought almost the third one might win here, but it didn't. It was quite a big difference. Mm-hmm. I think it's just you have to go quite a bit further down the hill to get to them.
Yeah, that's a good point. You have to factor in that one as when you're making your decision. It's quickest, it's not shortest. So that's number 4. Move on to number 5.
Yeah, again on this one you've got the hill basically. You have to go down and up, and then it's possibly it's a little bit longer as well. Just how the controls are arranged, so that's quite a big difference on that one.
Yep. So 2 or 3, both equal time. Let's move on to the next question.
Yeah, so now we change
6.
Different sort of location. So yeah, it was. So I can't quite see on my screen, but I'm pretty sure it was through. It was a bit quicker here. But yeah, I think this one maybe was quite hard to tell. But actually, so when you went on number 3, when you went between the 2 controls, the first and the second control here, I went like back out and past the start again to get to the next control, which that just meant it was quite a bit shorter. So,
That makes sense. I think this one I could rule out number 1 quite quickly, but between 2 and 3 it was much more difficult. I feel like I could do that for a lot of them, is rule out one of them, and then it was making the decision. The next one was quite tricky. Let's go on to the one after. Next question. And this is number 7.
yeah,
Again,
so yeah, I mean, yeah, 1 and 3 were almost quite well. There's obviously a difference, but you didn't want to pick number 2, basically, because you got to run into the forest. So it's just a bit slower, basically, slower going.
Yeah, makes sense. You've got to factor in the type of terrain to your route choice when you're running that. So yeah, number 2, not good going in the forest. Let's have a look at question number 8. So this one here, there was quite an obvious choice. This one. Well,
yeah, I mean,
not some of the others.
Did you pick number 3 on this one?
I did not pick number 3 on this one. I think. I don't know. I think I picked number 2, but I'm not sure. I took a long time choosing, which that was to my detriment.
I don't think I was expecting 3 to be that much quicker. But I ran on this one again. I ran past the start, going from 1 to 2 on number 3, which I think it does make that difference. You don't have to go through all those twists and turns.
Yeah. That's really difficult to kind of add up the different distances here because it's so twisty and so turny. So well done to anyone who managed to get that one. I think was quite a risk taking that one, I think, as well, because it feels like you're going so far past the finish, and I was thinking the route that I would run it is to go back past the start, back past the finish to get to the second control. So I think not the obvious choice, I think.
No, definitely not.
Okay,
right, next one.
So number 9, onto another new area again, and this one very close actually between all of these ones. I ruled out number 1 quite quickly as being not the fastest, but I was wrong evidently.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised. I'm not. I was a bit surprised on this one. I think it was just it was a lot closer than I was expecting, especially as number 3 I had to run down the hill at the start, and it was further, but it's just how it goes sometimes. It's not always so clear.
Well, I guess number 1 you've got quite you've not got any sharp corners that you're going to have to take. It's all reasonably well flowing. You can keep quite a high speed along pretty much all of that route, so maybe in a contrast to number 2, then that is what helps there, and you don't have to go back on yourself around the fences. So yeah, maybe that's why that's the best one. So let's go down to the next one.
Yeah, so the final one, and this is one actually from a real race. This was the British University Relay Championships last year. So this is on a hillside. But yeah, I mean, basically this one really was the shortest distance to the winner. So.
Yeah, this one I found the easiest of all of them. I just looked at which angle was the kind of the widest, and then knew that one was going to be the shortest one. So I feel like, Chris, you left the easiest one to the end, and I was thinking there was some sort of trick going on, but it was just as simple as that.
Yeah, basically. I left it to the end because it was like a different type of map to the others. So yeah, maybe I should have put it first. I don't know.
Maybe. Well, doesn't really matter. I hope everyone had some fun with that. Let's see if we can have a quick look at some of the results just for those 2 stages, as we've already had a quick look at some of the overall results. Let's see if we can get that up on the screen to see how we're doing. Brad is right on it to share that screen. Yeah, because there's definitely, I think we've had some kind of ups and downs with how people have managed to do. So let's have a quick look at the stage number 5. Sorry, yep, stage 5. And Team Austria good at this one. We can already see Japan 2 second. And is it Narima? OLC and Merry Friends into 3rd place. So let's have a look at the individual results though on this one. This is particularly interesting to see. Maybe we can have, I will actually get it up on my screen as well so I can see all the ones. So up and down, and we're looking at the individual results. So just wait, hopefully it's okay. It's not loading on my computer. We'll just use the screen. So Christian Wortwischler, who's going to actually be coming up on Catch Features, won that one. Joe Sunley 2nd. Jamie Lightfoot 3rd. Jamie Lightfoot is in the SYO Bees Knees team. He's going to be racing on Catching Features. Théo Florent in the KLS team, who's going to be racing very shortly. So to Aidan Smith, who's going to be racing shortly. So good there. Rune de Klerk was the fastest on the AMW 16 minuses. So a lot of congrats to you if you managed to get into this top 20. Very, very impressive, and some familiar names, some new names towards the top of this list. So have a quick look at the short gaffle as well. Just having a look at the top 20, as I think we're going to move on very, very soon to the Catching Features. So Peter Errington, fastest here on the short gaffle. Maria Magina, I think. The resolution is not very good for me looking, so apologies if I've got your name wrong. Matthew Bethel, also in 3rd place. Oh, there we go. As we can see it a bit clearer. Kate McLucky from the Moravian Meerkats, quality team name. So a few MW16 minuses doing very, very well on the short gaffle. I think maybe the key was click your mouse quickly on your decision, no matter what it was, I think. And I think that's certainly I took far too long on making some choices and lost a lot of time. So yeah, if there's the top 16, 15 on the team. So congrats if you were in any of those. Let's have a look at which team did best. More practice needed. Very, very good. Winning team on this one, Troll Belgian, 2nd place, West Cumberland in 3rd, Team Map Runner in 4th, KLS this time, only 5th, goodness me. But great to see, some different teams kind of at the top doing very well on the short gaffle. You will be much in demand for a knockout sprint team if we can get one of those in the future. So you've already proved your worth there with that one. Okay, I think we've done overall results.
We haven't done the Street View stage.
We haven't done the Street View stage. Oh yeah, you're right. We haven't done the Street View stage. So let's have a look at the results. Individual, Joe Sunley, very impressive score there. Oliver Bardsley from Team Map Runner in 2nd. Théo Florent in 3rd for the French KLS team. Dmitry Ushakov from Team Map Runner also doing well. Team Map Runner had a good one on this one. Dom Dakin from South Yorkshire as well. So, and again, we've got Rune de Klerk in 11th place. He's the top MW16 minus. William Bartram from Norwich is in the 2nd place on MW16 minus. So congrats if you managed to do well on that one. It was a French town, wasn't it, Chris?
Yes, yeah.
Racing around there. So tricky one that I think people have found it quite interesting to do from the Street View. And these are the team scores for, is this overall or is this the
no, this is
Street View, I think. Yep. So the team competition results for Street View. So KLS winning that one, SYO Bees Knees 2nd, and Edinburgh University in 3rd place. So again, a good lot of mixture of different teams there. Do you want to go? I haven't really shouted out the junior teams to see where they did on the overall results. So if we can go back to the overall team results again, and we can just do those quickly before we go on to the final Catching Feature stage. So we know our top 3. I want to find our best junior team though. So our best junior team, SYO Killer Bees. So well done to SYO. We've also got the Masters team from Switzerland and the Invoc Juniors in third. So congrats to those top 3 teams from the juniors. Very, very good job. Yeah, fantastic effort over the whole weekend, over all the 7 stages. Let's see then if we can move on to the catching features. Hopefully we've got everybody in the lobby and ready to go. So we can start to bring in, as I load up my catching features, maybe we can bring in Craig and he can tell us a little bit about the competition that's going to be going on over the next however long it's going to be.
Hey,
Craig? Hey.
Yeah, so I think so. We're doing a relay. There are 3 teams, 3 teams, 3 legs. It's a proper relay with. So there's only going to be 3 people out at each time. So not quite as hectic as some of the previous races when we had like 10 people all running at the same time. But should hopefully still be. Should hopefully still be good.
Yes, so yeah, we're going to have classic chokers. So 3 people going at a time, and I can start. So people have selected their relay teams. So we've got in the first team, we've got Marion Basset going first. Then we've got Théo Florent going second, and Pierre Ebland on third. In the second team is Team Austria. We've got Franz Gleiner going first. Christian Wartbichler going in second, and Philip von Arx going third. And of the SYOB's knees team, we've got Ryan Elliott going first. We've got Aidan Smith going second, and Martin Ward. I had it as Jamie Lightfoot on here, but Martin Ward on third place.
So Martin was saying that he got the call up today.
Maybe Jamie, come on! You should be ready for this race. But glad to see you've got a good to have the whole team. I think we are ready to go. Inevitably catching features will chuck me out, so we'll see if we can get it working.
Today's race is on turf loop, which is a really tricky little. A tricky little area with lots of bushes and trees and stuff to navigate your way around. So we'll see how this goes. Yeah,
it's very tricky. When I pre-ran this one, there was a lot of me kind of getting stuck in these green bushes. It was very difficult. Oh, and we are out of the...
Sorry, that was my fault. Sorry.
Oh, did you have yourself as a runner?
No, I pushed the I was hovering over the disconnect button just in case someone disconnected, and when it started, my finger just clicked the button. I don't know why.
Can't get the staff, can we? Oh, goodness me.
I'm just so used to it not working first time round that. Sorry.
Okay, we are actually going now, so we can have a look and all the teams straight off to the first control. The first one, should say, is by far the easiest of the entire course. It gets much, much more difficult from here.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta break them in nicely, don't you?
You really do. Yeah, I feel like you have to. So we've got, and we must say, we have this already, I think the French team are big favourites. Marion Basset, Pierre Ebland, Théo Florent. Anybody who's been watching these live streams should be pretty familiar with all 3 of those names. All of the 3 of them very, very good at catching features. And in fact, they came first, second and third in the qualification. So, I mean, really very, very good. All the second and third runners should be waiting at the start, and we'll be able to see here as their runners go past, they'll be able to see them, and they will be able to do so later in the course as well, so they can kind of get ready for this point. But it is certainly the French team just going ahead at the moment. and choosing different routes at the moment. There's Sheffield and Austria. Got the whole of Sheffield versus the whole of Austria here, and not even all of them are Austrian in the Austrian team, but they are certainly going to be facing off. They're taking very different routes here at the moment and getting neck and neck. I'm pretty sure that we need to keep an eye on the French team in the lead. They will make mistakes. All three of them are very, very solid. So I have a feeling our battle is really going to be between second and third. But because the French team are out and out favourites for this one. But now if we have a look at the leading French team, this is a really weird hill with all these rocks on here.
Yeah, into the twisty rocks. Yeah, you can see Marion already having a little bit of trouble, although I think he's getting it there.
Yeah, managed to get the control there.
Yeah, the first time that I ran onto this hill, I got so lost because I don't know, I just ran in expecting that it would be obvious where all the boulders were, and it's really, really not. But it looks like these guys have pretty much managed fine.
Yeah, they're not done too bad at all.
No problems.
Although actually, saying that, I think
a little
the
wobble,
Austrian
but
team,
no.
Franz Gleiner making a little bit of a mistake there actually into that. It was so close to that one, and that's allowed the Yorkshire team to get ahead. So
got a little bit of grief in him, although it looks like Ryan Elliott has gone off a little bit, so Franz might be getting back in, and Marion, fastest split, every control bar one. He's gone.
And, I'm just having a quick look here at Ryan Elliott because he's now hit the path and is going to go back. I think he's successfully gone round that part, and he's now found the actual controls. So I'm sure we'll see lots more mistakes, and I think it's because these bushes make it really, really, really tricky.
Yeah, so we're about
Let's
to
jump back ahead.
Yeah, about to enter the bushes again, and I quite enjoy doing this when I'm sort of like planning courses, is having them go out into a quite fast open area and then throwing them back into like the really technical stuff again, because you're so used to just being able to run in straight lines really, really fast, and then suddenly you're in these bushes, and going through the thick green is definitely not the quickest way for most of it. Occasionally it is quicker to just cut through a little bit, but most of the time you want to be avoiding the thick green. And it becomes almost like an urban going through these bits, because you have to think so quickly and twist and turn. It's pretty tough, and especially when you've come from a really quick section, going into these tight twisty sections, it hurts your brain.
Yep, so Marion's just gone past the start finish again, so on his way to the 13th control. Meanwhile, I think we've got mistake there from Ryan Elliott. He did really, really well to catch Franz Gleiner up, but I think has made a mistake on his way to control number 10, just now trying to have to relocate. And that is what is really hard, is actually relocating in amongst all of the bushes around controls 10, 11, 12. It's so hard to find something good, but I think Ryan's managed to do that now.
Yeah, I'm quite a big fan in this twisty thick green area, just getting out to a path and taking the easy routes that you don't have to think too much. That's Marion.
Marion's already handed over in first place, a good lead there, and has handed over to Theo Florent, who's an absolute whiz at catching features. So I'm sure he will put in a good job. We'll try and watch out for any mistakes though. We do keep seeing them happening, and I think if we look back, Ryan has had to kind of, I know he's found his way to control number 12, not too much.
I think Ryan just slowing it down a little bit.
Around all those bushes
I think he's just slowing it down a little bit.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, definitely. Try and limit the damage.
Yeah, because a lot of damage can be done if you have to end up relocating and going.
There's still 2 more runners to go. There's plenty of time.
Really slow.
Yeah, plenty of time for other teams to make mistakes. So I think it's important on first leg just to kind of stay in touch. You're not going to win the race on first leg, but you can definitely lose the race on first leg. So I think it is quite important just to limit the mistakes that you're making and give the rest of your team a chance.
So we're now on to the second leg on the Austrian team. Christian Bischler is about to punch the second control, whilst Ryan Elliott now into hand to Aidan Smith. We should say in the qualification, Ryan was 18th, Aidan was 9th, so maybe going to one of their more reliable runners or quicker runners on the runners, navigators, catching features players on the second leg for them.
Yeah, so Aidan actually was quicker than all three of the Austrian team members. So you would expect to see him close the gap maybe slightly. And it looks like he's just done that because the Austrian team is in the middle of a big mistake on number 3.
Yeah, this is kind of what I was saying about it being so difficult to relocate, because they've kind of gone offline and now you're wandering around not really knowing where you are at all. So yeah, South Yorkshire now overtaken the Austrian team back into second place. Let's have a quick look at the lead of the race, where Théo Florent, he's on his way to the 7th control, looking
so
very, very solid. Has he got any fastest splits though? He has one fastest split to the 7th control, so not quite as fast as Marin Basse, but it's only really seconds between the two of them. So another
still very comfortable
French team. Very, very comfortable. Just using these kind of trees and things to run the control, but it's so hard to kind of.
Oh dear.
And
it looks like Aidan is
quite far in the distance, and it's
Aidan's
really hard to pick out features.
Yeah. It's funny because the light green
Aidan's
trees
on the 5th control.
The light green trees, in my head, they shouldn't disrupt you too much, but they're also not particularly fun to run through. And they are very good at just throwing you a little bit offline here and there. And then when you go into the twisty, thick green stuff, suddenly you're all over the place. And and you can see that right now with Aidan. Aidan's been dragged way offline. I mean, I think he will still come back in and get this control fine, but normally on catching features, you see everyone just running straight. But yeah, definitely not the case on this map.
But maybe that's the decision, to try and go around the hill, not go too far up. And he's not making although I was going to say he's just maybe overshot it, but not too much of a problem.
And that's the Austrian team finally getting control 3, so big mistake there.
Yeah, so the Austrian team taking 10 minutes to that control, the others taking a minute and a half, minute 12 seconds. Goodness me. So that really is a big damage for them as they're now into 4th, and it's going to be really difficult to see if they can make that one up. I want to go quickly back to the French team, because Théo Florent is on his way to the 13th control. He's passed our spectator run through, going past the start, so hopefully Pierre Herbland can kind of see that his previous runner is there. He's getting ready to change over, so pretty much without any bother there for Théo Florent. Let's have a look. Aidan Smith, where is he going? He's going into control 8. Doesn't seem to have too many problems with that one.
Yeah, so this is the beginning now for Aidan of the Aidan now going back into the twisty bushes. This is where the mistakes might start to happen again for Aidan, although he has been very solid so far. So you should be okay.
Yeah. Absolutely. Looking very solid into section. Yeah, Austrian team, let's follow them in there on their way to 6, because this is always a kind of interesting one. I think you guess you're looking out for those taller pillars, almost like buildings, those rock pillars, and trying to navigate using those.
Yeah, I mean that's the aim, but it's kind of difficult on the map as well to work out which ones are the really tall ones and which ones are just going to be boulders. But not too many issues there. Honestly, it just looks like that one mistake at control 3 has really put a spanner in the works for the Austrian team. But there's still one leg to go, and that control 3 is going to come round again for Martin Ward, and we'll see how Martin gets on.
So let's have a quick jump back to the leaders. And Pierre Herbland is making a mistake so he's got to the 2nd control,
Yeah, this
pretty
control 3 is
quickly,
really.
but this third control is very hard to see.
Yeah, it's really thrown a spanner in the works for all these
And this
teams, it would
is-
seem.
And I don't know if they're just not kind of using that open section to its maximum.
I actually find going slightly right of the line and following the line of like thicker trees was quite useful, because there's like a nice vertical line of like thick green, which helped me get in a little bit easier.
Yeah,
but there you go.
Well, it's now
now.
managed to make it, so that's good to see. Let's have a look, see how Aidan Smith is getting on, and
Just
he's
coming
right
into
on
the
the way to the finish now. So going to hand over to Martin Ward. So Martin Ward, not originally in the top 3 scorers for South Yorkshire, so I think that'll be really interesting to see how Martin's able to get on. Has he just overshot this first control?
Surely not.
Yeah, he's not got the first control yet. Oh,
Here's you
dear.
saying that it's the easiest control of the lot.
Yeah, I was saying it's the easiest control of the whole course. Goodness me. Okay,
Oh, wow.
well, hopefully, if you just make some... Okay, well, the rest of the course might be kind of interesting then. So we'll keep an eye on Martin Ward. If you... usual, even in orienteering, the mantra is go slow to number 1, go safe to number 1, and then you'll be, reasonably okay for the rest. So I can see him already kind of starting to head offline or go through the thicker bushes on here. So it gives an opportunity. So Philip von Arx is the last leg runner for the Austrian team. And it will be interesting to see whether he's able to make a gap. But we can see that the second leg runner is now on his way to the 12th control. So still got that kind of like loop after the spectator control. There's going to be a lot of distance that they'll have to catch up to try and make any sort of headways with the South Yorkshire team. But interestingly, going straight through all these green bushes to get to this open area on the way to 13th control. An interesting decision, and now choosing to go round some of the bushes.
It looks like it's going to work out fine, so or not.
Maybe we spoke too soon. There we go. There's not quite a lot of control yet. There we go. I saw the control in the corner of the screen, watching on his from his view, and just was trying not to say anything. Let's have a look at the leader.
Yeah, this KLS team has been absolutely phenomenal. Just all 3 of them have smashed it, barely put a foot wrong. Coming into control 9 here on the last leg, and that is textbook. As you predicted, they have absolutely smashed this one.
Yeah, they've really, really done so well on all of these controls. Going into the 10th one now. Let's have a little look where the other teams are doing. Martin Ward, what is
so
he?
Philip's now going on to leg 3. We'll see how he gets on with this one. This is the.
Let's have a look at this one, because this has been tricky.
So using the open,
doing a lot better. Yeah.
Using the open gets you.
At this point.
Using the open gets you quite close, I guess, and then boom, easy.
Yeah, solid, very good.
That's how you do it.
Maybe he's been listening in. Knew it was proving tricky for some of the others. So, everyone's kind of doing a little bit of chat with Franz Gleiner, going push it hard on cheering on his team. Let's have a look how Martin Ward is getting on his way to the 7th control. So I've done that very odd one on the hilly hill with all the rocks and all the boulders on, and pretty straight on currently to number 7. There's just kind of stopping on the path, trying to be very careful as he makes his way into the 7th control.
These longer legs at the back are supposed to be slightly easier, kind of lull you into that false sense of security. We have seen a couple of little wobbles on them, but for the most part, these ones should be fairly straightforward. And here we go. Pierre coming in to win it.
Yeah, so
there we go.
Pierre
KLS.
into the finish already. so KLS, I mean, they were out and out favourites. Marion saying, can we join Pierre in the corridor finish? So yeah, really, these guys celebrating that one. So yeah, fantastic result. They were the favourites for a reason, and they've, as a team, absolutely smashed it.
It's funny how this one has got so strung out.
Fastest splits all the way around. I think it's the bushes. It really throws, like, it was a gap quite early on, I think, in this one, and only 3 teams, it's kind of much harder to follow. So let's have another look. So with the French team KLS, they have won it. Let's go to the next team. Martin Ward is just punched the 9th control onto the 10th, and this one is a very difficult going around all the bushes.
Yeah, so he still has a pretty big gap.
But he's kind of keeping it fairly simple.
A pretty big gap to fill it behind, but you know, we've seen some big mistakes in here, which Martin is currently in the process of not quite sure how far along this path he is. So it only takes a couple of little slip ups or one big slip up, and Philip will be right back on top. So it's not over yet.
That's what I was. Oh, so close. That's kind of what I was saying about some of the. This is quite
wow.
difficult to see. How close can you get to the control? This is what it shows. This is so difficult, this particular section, just to kind of like get the right bit, and also what I was saying earlier about it's so difficult to relocate here and find the right bits so that you can go in and find the control. Oh, there's the control. Martin Wood's got it. Let's have a look at the third place team currently. Philip Von Arx is number 9, only 1 control. So let's follow Philip Von Arx here on his way to the 10th.
Yeah, one more of those mistakes, and they're going to be right back together with only 4 controls to go.
Well, speaking of, let's have a quick look at Martin Ward, because he's making a mistake number 11. He's so close again. Look, going back out to the path. You can see the orienteering going on here. Back out to the path. This is the green, and then it's just there we go, round there. And let's have a quick look at Philip Von Arx, because he's also making mistakes in number 10.
I think the thing with this now is it's so important, just like we said earlier, just keep it clean and don't take any big risks. You know, if you think that you're a little bit wayward, get back out to somewhere that you know very quickly, and have another go, because you don't want to spend lots of time getting lost. I think you need to kind of cut your losses and get back in. But it looks like Martin now off onto the slightly easier controls, with only 2 to go and then to the finish. So I think he might just get away with this one.
Although there's still a lot that can happen in this last section, the 13th control. There's lots of small bushes here. It's kind of hard to find what you're navigating against. And this is really, and of course, because you don't know what everybody else is doing as well in this section. So
I'm not sure if they know what place they're in. Surely they know at the start of their leg that they're in 2nd place, but I guess you don't know if you've been overtaken or if
No, so Martin Ward successfully managed to make it to 13. He's very, very close to the 14th control. Now it's just a race to the finish. Philip Von Arx has found the 13th control, is heading to 14. But if Martin Ward's able to just kind of keep going straight here, find this patch of open and go towards the finish, which you can kind of almost see on the right, then he's going to be able to take it. Oh, what's going on? Is he going to go too fast?
There we go.
Oh, that's turning around on the track was very, very nerve-wracking. But South Yorkshire team.
Philip has messed up the last control.
Oh, he has. You're right.
There you go.
And there we go. All 3 teams in. Very, very close. And you know what? The South Yorkshire team were kind of seeded 3rd of these top 3 with that. So, I mean, very impressive, I think, to get them to. It was a pretty good run from Austrian team overall.
A pretty good run from Aidan Smith there, which was what gave them that gap. I think gave them a little bit of a cushion going into the last leg.
Yeah, and Aiden's actually just put on the chat, thanks. That was just as stressful as a real life relay with GPS. Goodness me, yes. I think that is definitely the case. So well done to everybody. And especially because, well, yeah, exactly what Aiden is saying with GPS. People can watch you, and that adds a whole other dimension to this race, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I was very close at the end, much closer than I was expecting. It really all came back down into it, and yeah, just lucky Martin had that little bit of extra time buffer to keep himself in front.
Well, I think a very well planned course, and congratulations again to the team from KLS who were able to win. Very commanding performance. Congratulations to the South Yorkshire Bees Knees team who were second, and to the Austrian team who were third. I mean, first of all,
I've just got it.
Qualifying. What?
The South Yorkshire top is yellow with black stripes, like
yeah,
a bee.
They look like bees.
Oh, just
well
got
done.
it.
You just a slow clap there for that one. Yeah, but there's a reason why that theme. These aren't just team names they've used for lockdown orienteering. These are team names they've used for many relays.
Oh wow!
Don't you worry. Well, with that realization, let's say well done to all our teams and bring Chris back in. Of course, our lockdown orienteering organizer, and we'll find out kind of what's coming up next in terms of lockdown orienteering. Chris, what is coming next?
Just like thank you everyone who took part this weekend. Hope they enjoyed it. Hope people who had technical problems weren't too put off by those and managed to find a way around them. Most of the time we were able to help, I think. Yeah, and just coming up, we've got an event in a couple of weeks' time. The cheap entry deadline for that is tomorrow, and that one we're going to be going to Argentina. So we'll be supporting a club over there. Gareda, who he had an interview for World Orienteering Day with him. So people can catch up on that video if they want to learn more about what's happening over there.
Well, who said you couldn't go and travel to different places during lockdown? You can with lockdown orienteering. You heard it here first. So yeah, please get your entries in for the next one, and we'll be back here with some live streams, I'm sure, as well. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for playing lockdown orienteering over the last few days, and I'll see you at the next one.
Cheers, guys.